Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ready Steady Play, where today I'm going to be playing Tall Tales, the storytelling board game, with some of my friends. In this game, we're all going to be working against one another to tell the best possible story, or, maybe working with one another. It's a semi-cooperative game with one winner in the end. It's for 3 to 12 players, probably takes about an hour to play, and it involves everybody writing in real time and then voting on who they think told the best story. So, of course, to tell the best story and to get everybody involved, I've got my friends here. I've got Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey, sorry, I didn't realize this was for friends only. Sorry to intrude. But I'm here now, I might as well play.
Popular internet opponent, Chris.
Frenemy.
Exactly,
I don't have a
right.
frenemy. Would you like to be my frenemy, Mike?
Sure, I'll be your frenemy, Chris. Here's Ollie.
Hi guys. I think I count as a friend. I mean, barring all of the betrayals we've done in the past, but no one can betray you like your close friends.
Exactly. If we weren't friends, then it wouldn't be a real betrayal, would it? And Michael, there's Michael.
Hi! I don't know why I'm here. I'm absolutely rubbish with storytelling. It's going to be the worst ever. I'm not going to get picked.
Hey, there's everybody. Look at that. That's fun, isn't it?
Hey guys.
So, we're all here to play Tall Tales and tell a tall tale. Woo! Look at that. I got the game set up already. Isn't that efficient?
Oh,
so
that was quick.
Yeah. Woo! The
How
magic of
does he
cinema.
believe that he did that alone.
Very Blue Peter.
Here's one I prepared earlier. I've always
Here's-
wanted to say that.
Does anyone have
I
a Blue
totally
Peter hat?
missed a trick. I should have said that.
You should.
We'll edit
But
it.
I can edit it to just make me look the best. Yeah, if I lose this horribly, or if my stories are too embarrassing, I'll literally just edit everything out. There's no video. It's over. But the way
We'll shoot the entry. Like, you can play this with up to with 3 to 12 players, but I've not got anyone around me, so I'm going to beat everyone.
I'm just going to read out all of your best work in the end and claim it as my own. This is plagiarism, the video. But
Very tall tale. A tale as old as time.
we've got 4 character cards here that represent each of the players. And what we're going to essentially do here is reveal a picture from this deck of prompt cards. This picture is going to act as a catalyst for our storytelling. Then we'll go through 4 rounds here, starting with the quest round, and then 3 superlative rounds. And after the 4th round, we'll determine who the winner is by who has been given the most points. Each round will involve us writing something, and then at the end of the round, we'll anonymously read out what has been written using the magic of the internet that we have set up. And of course, if you were in person, you'd just write this on index cards or whatever, shuffle them up and deal them to everybody. But in the magical age of the internet here, we are going to be using behind-the-scenes technical magic. And once we've all read out what each other has written anonymously, so we don't know who wrote what, we will then have a voting section where you can vote on anyone else's story, so anyone but your own. And we'll do the voting, and then whoever gets the most votes will get some points and become the storyteller for the next round, who just gets to pick the next phrase and card that we'll be using as a prompt for that round. And after we've been through all 4, whoever has the most points gets to read out the whole story and then has to put their name on it and publish it, no matter how bad it is.
I was just going to say, and then has to publish it.
Yeah, self-publish it to Amazon with your name on it.
I'm already worried about winning. Losing might be the way to go for this.
See, I want to put the stakes on losing so that if Michael beats me, I'm not too embarrassed. So I've already given these a good shuffle, but we'll give them another shuffle for good measure. And what I'll probably do is bring the picture up on the video as well. But here we go. Let's have a look and see what we've got here.
And so our story begins.
Are we all huddled closer?
Everyone's laughing because this is the picture I used for the example of how to play the game. So
it's so the picture of 3 of our characters belong.
Well.
As you can see here, Ollie is actually playing as the wolf. I'm playing as the owl. and Michael is the tiger in a toboggan with a little friend up front. And Chris is actually a black cat who doesn't appear in this picture.
Because he's still in the house.
I was
next to
going
the
to say
fire.
he's sensible and he's warm at home.
By the fire.
Tobogganing is fun, man. Although I actually, when I was a child, I broke my leg tobogganing. Careful.
That's the most Canadian story you've ever told us.
Ironically, I was in Scotland.
I've been dry tobogganing in Austria. Does that count?
No.
Oh.
So I've been giving myself the storyteller token for the first round, but you can randomize this if you're playing at home. So this is a random quest card. I just draw one. I don't get to pick. So here we go, guys. Let's hope we get a good one.
Okay, who's thinking it will be the example one?
Yeah, right? Okay. It is. Tell us about the magic practiced in this world. It's the same one I used for the example. All right, well, I hope you all were actually thinking about it during the example.
Could not have planned that better.
My God. I shuffled it. You all saw me shuffling.
I saw you shuffle both.
Cards, one over the other. Whether that was shuffling is for the jury to decide.
Okay, so that's in the quest round. That's all we get, right? There's nothing else.
Yeah.
There's no phrase or anything. So that's okay.
That's all
So
we get.
Has the timer started?
No, not yet. Don't worry. I will count us in.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, there's a timer. Oh God, pressure.
3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Not much time at all.
3.
All you do is tell us about the magic practice in that world.
Yeah. This has to relate to the picture as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you want to use the
So,
picture
like,
there.
I'm saying it for the sake of the audience at home who may not have watched any videos or seen anything about it. Is everything relates back to the image.
Exactly right. So we're using this picture and this prompt to write something.
When's
Alright.
the timer starting? I don't understand.
I
What
will
we-
count you down. You can see the timer on screen, everybody. I've got my phone. I'm going to count us in now. I'm just getting in position to type. It's a bit awkward. My setup here is not ideal for typing, but do this.
3 minutes doesn't sound very long.
Oh, it's
Eh,
not.
it'll be enough.
That's
Why am I so nervous? I'm like heart palpitations. I'm like stressed.
Oh my God. I have to put this over here. Okay, is everybody ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Start writing about the magic in this world in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh God, I've got to spell properly as well. Oh.
Yeah, just look for the one with all the typos. That's Michael's. Time.
Ah!
Okay.
Can I just go? Can I just quickly correct 2 spelling mistakes? That's all I actually need to do.
That's fine. We will allow
Thank you.
this. I think I haven't made any, but I can't actually proofread very well. I need to get this equipment off the table. That
I honestly, the word I'm trying to spell, I'm like, I can't remember if that's even the word I mean.
Okay, I am done.
Okay.
There's still
Yep.
2 people typing apparently.
I see all
Yeah.
3 people typing.
I see 1 person now.
Correcting mistakes. Last minute
Creating
errors.
mistakes.
Has everyone removed all their typos?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Brilliant. So we've got 4 bits of text here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get someone to read out the first bit of text using these tokens here. Bam. That's me.
What a coincidence!
I will now do a dramatic reading of the text. In this world of mountains and mysterious landscapes, the people who live here can turn into animals at will. The kind of animal you become is based on the nature of your heart in the moment, as well as the task you are setting yourself to accomplish. This means that the practitioner will never be entirely sure what they will become each time. Once your task is done, you return to human form. Alright, here we go. Passage number 2. Come on. It's Chris.
In the land of Urilan, there had always been peace and tranquility. A perfect harmonious balance was kept for all the living things in the woodland. The creatures were not without their plights, of course, but it was a happy place. Until one day, the Luxarber, the great eternal tree of light, whose magic kept the land in its near perfect state, became sick and decayed. From nowhere one day, an eternal winter seemed to take the land as if also by some evil dark magic. Magics of light and darkness were always at war in the land of Urlan, but never before now had the magic of the Luxarber failed to keep the dark at bay.
Ooh.
This one's got deep lore.
It has, isn't it? Shit, throw a d12 for lore.
Next up is Michael.
Right, so I'm reading the third one. Okay.
Mhm.
Under the midnight moon, in the furthest north, the magic of the land takes form from the snow and ice of the earth itself. Creations of ice and now can be formed and brought to life by placing the darkest of stones at their heart. Spells written into the snow will allow the dwellers to conjure wonderful things, but magic can run amok when the winds howl and snow is driven forward. In those dark times when the moon is hidden strange and frightful creatures will come to life, and spells will twist as the words and symbols become corrupted by change winds. The animals of the wild will know well to hide in these times and cast only on windless nights, when the benevolent moon can guide their hand and ensure the accuracy of their casting. Wow.
I'll need to read the last one then, I guess.
Hang on, let me check. Yeah, it's Ollie.
Call it-
Kind of expecting
magic-
my token wasn't going to be there.
I'll tell you what, the magic of this land is an eye of clairvoyance.
In a faraway magical kingdom, a strange meteor from space crash-landed in this world. Not long after the humans started attacking one another until they were no more. The meteor has a magical power that gave human-like abilities to the animals, including thought and speech to a point where animals now behave as humans.
Okay.
So, what I'm gonna do now is ask everyone to pick their favorite. Remember that you can't vote for your own one, so don't even try it. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, where's my token for Michael? Go.
Number 2, in the land of Urlan. 1.
Chris.
The one below that, Under the Midnight Moon.
Ollie.
I went for In This World of Mountains and Mysterious Landscapes.
And me. I actually went for number 3, Under the Midnight Moon. All right. So does everyone want to own up?
But it can't be either of us because we voted for it.
So we've got 2 votes for 3. Who wrote 3?
I did.
Ollie, nice
The
work.
Midnight Moon.
Chris, were you Urlan?
I was. How did you know that?
Guess.
I deliberately stumbled over the word Luxarber to make it look like it wasn't mine.
Deep
I
lore.
appreciate that. Well, Chris, you and I actually wound up. I think you and I actually wound up reading our own, and Michael read Ollie's,
did,
right?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
And no one voted for mine.
For anyone who's interested, Luxarber is Latin for light tree.
Yeah.
That's where I got
Wow.
the name from.
Did not know that, but now that you said that, I can see Lux, and I was like, I know that's light. And arbor is a kind of tree. That makes total sense.
Well, thank you for voting for mine, Ollie. I was touched.
And thank you for
Thank you
mine,
for voting
Michael.
for mine.
You're welcome, Chris.
I also
quite
thought
like
mine was best, Michael.
So happy. So very humble.
I like how very detailed it was. I was like, "Ooh, it's a proper novel."
There's a whole thing here. Well, Ollie, why don't you read again for us your one, seeing as how you're the winner.
Under the midnight moon, in the furthest north, the magic of the land takes form from the snow and ice of the earth itself. Creations of ice and snow can be formed and brought to life by placing the darkest of stones at their heart. Spells written into the snow will allow the dwellers to conjure wondrous things, but magic can run amok when the winds howl and snow is driven forward. In those dark times, when the moon is hidden, strange and frightful creatures will come to life, and spells will twist as the words and symbols become corrupted by changing winds. The animals of the wild know well to hide in these times, and cast only on windless nights, when the benevolent moon can guide their hands and ensure the accuracy of their casting.
So, team, your job is to internalize the rules of this magical world for our next step, in which Ollie will become storyteller man.
Oh God!
No pressure.
I'm going to keep this quest prompt up here because otherwise, well, now y'all can't see it. I've got too many people on screen. I'll just leave it here.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. So, Ollie, you're going to get 3 superlatives and 3 phrases, and then you can pick the combination of the 2 that you like. So,
Awesome.
here we go. Superlative number 1. See? The most delightful sidekick. We've got most ominous.
Can I have a? What does ominous mean?
Foreboding.
Foreboding. Do we both just say foreboding?
Yeah.
And sorry,
Sort
this is so bad. Does foreboding mean bad? Like
It means
I have a
ominous.
bad feeling about this.
Ominous
Yeah.
implies something is bad or
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to go
yeah.
wrong or unsettling or evil.
The hairs on your arms stand up is an ominous feeling.
Right. Got it.
Or the neck.
Okay.
And the final one is most unlikely hero. So there are your 3 superlatives, Ollie, and now we're going to get 3 phrases. Just going to get shuffle up. And the phrase must be used in the passage that we write. So there you go. If someone forgets, they'll be immediately disqualified and we'll all laugh at them.
Okay, who wants Mike to be the first one to forget? Just because he
It
said
will
it.
be me as well, yeah. By the way, if anyone's wondering why I didn't put out any points for that round, you don't score the first round. Only rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4 scored. Okay, here we go. The phrase card. First one is, and that's why you always...
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and quickly gave chase. And finally, a most unwelcome quest. All right, Ollie, would you like those again, or do you think you know what's going on?
No, I can see him. I will go for a most unwelcome quest as the phrase,
Mhm.
and I will go for the most ominous.
You did that on purpose, didn't you, Wally?
I mean, you just the definition. I figured it was actually fine.
Now remember, Michael, ominous means someone who will eat anything.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
God.
For example, I myself am an ominous.
Oh, it's meant to be enormous. Got it.
Those dogs are also
Oh,
ominous.
No, that's not the joke. That's not the joke.
Oh God.
I have time. I can pick a different one.
I think we're locked in here for round 1. We've got most ominous and a most unwelcome quest. It's actually a good combination. I think this is promises some interesting stories.
I was going for.
Yeah.
Good,
Okay.
well chosen, Ollie. All right, so I'm gonna get my timer ready. Now we have 5 minutes for this round. There's a bit less pressure while you think and cogitate, but don't spend too long on it because
I assume it's helpful. We're essentially writing a story in 3 short paragraphs, so I assume it's helpful to think of this as the beginning and then the next round is the middle, and the next final round is the end, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so, because the first round is kind of the setting, right? The first round is the setting, and now we're starting a story, and then
Yeah.
the middle,
So,
and then
yeah.
the end. Yeah.
Cool. Let's go.
All right,
Excited.
Cool.
here we go. 3, 2, 1. Timer's on.
The most unwelcome quest. Okay.
That's halftime. Time.
Ooh.
This is tough.
It's probably easier when you're playing at home with your friends, and not on the internet in front of all of the RSP subscribers.
No. See, I imagine it's worse when you're not typing, because going back and going, oh, I didn't mean to write that, is much more difficult.
I was I was planning on someone still typing.
I just had to do a few spelling corrections there. I got a bit flustered towards the end because
know.
my phone screen locked, and I was like, "Oh!"
I typed for about 6 or 7 seconds after you said time because I was literally finishing a sentence.
I must
Okay.
have wasted about 20 seconds thinking of a character name.
Quickly, I had one come to mind straight away, and then I was like, right, I'm not going to overthink it, just that.
Oh, I've got one
Yeah.
typo. Hang on.
I have a typo,
Done.
but it's a word never spelled correctly, so I'm going to leave it.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do?
I was gonna write a lot more than I got to write. I ran out of
Yeah,
time.
I definitely ran out of time too. I knew I'd like this game though, because I love it, man. I love this stuff. All right, is everybody ready to submit your drafts?
Ready.
Yep,
All right, here we go. I want everyone to press enter in 3, 2, 1. Right, we're starting. Yep, we've got 4 new ones there, and I'm just gonna shuffle up our old voting tokens here. Dun 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 dun. Okay, here we go. The first paragraph then begins with "one night when," and reader will be. It's Michael.
Aha! I will go first. Cool. One night, when the moon was at its most secretive and the wind sprinted through the trees like a mad and knowing force, a simple, almost monotonous spell was thrown into disarray.
It's
Pardon?
monotonous.
Monotonous. What did I say? Maternate.
Monotonous, I think you said.
All right. Monotonous. I'll say that again. You can edit this out, dude.
I can.
One night, when the moon was at its most secretive and the wind sprinted through the trees like a mad and knowing force, a simple, almost monotonous spell was thrown into disarray. Some say it was a field mouse casting a spell for food. Others say it was an owl trying to mend a damaged wing. It matters not anymore. Instead, the cruel moon and wind recast this magic to spell the death of all things in the land. And so it fell to the great wolf Sif to complete a most unwelcome quest. It was told that several times in the past a creature of the land needed to fulfill this quest to save the land from some great evil. Sif was unsure of the accuracy of such tales. All he knew was that his world was doomed if he didn't do this. He must venture forth and knew he would not return.
Well, it does sound ominous.
But not monotonous. That's my best joke of this episode. I guarantee it. It's
All right.
downhill from here.
Second set second one is going to be. It's Ollie reading this one.
The folk of the Midnight Moon had learned quickly when it was safe to cast spells. Using their gifts, they had carved out a living in this harsh environment and forged a fragile peace amongst the species. The most fragile alliance was amongst the apes and wildcats. It was holding together until the blood moon appeared. Magic took on forms that it had never done before, twisting into dark and powerful shapes. The apes sought to abuse this for their own ends. To keep the peace, the wildcats had to embark on a most unwelcome quest. ...
That is ominous.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. Now it's number 3. It's Chris.
A most unwelcome quest, Zara thought, as she recalled her conversation with the wolf children. She felt her feathers ruffle in quiet fury at the thought of being outmaneuvered by the young pups who had hired her services. It galled her to beak the talent that they had convinced her to head out so far beyond the last of the haven holes, deep into the ice fields of the wildlands. She had with her only her icy servants, Ayn and Zai, who she had crafted that morning to aid her. They had been travelling for days now, looking for the tracks of the wolves who had left only days before. Messengers were always valuable in the snowfields, and with her gifts of flight, she could cover much more ground, provided, of course, she could find her quarry's tracks before the next snowstorm. As if by the very hand of fate, she felt the winds pick up, a dark cloud on the horizon steadily coming closer. A most unwelcome quest indeed. ...
Good use of ellipses there. We've even got extra ellipses for dramatic effect.
I was about to say, Deborah has a pet hate for anyone who does more than 3.
Well, that's why she's an academic.
My mustache got caught in my can. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know why I'm flicking for this last one. The last one is, of course, going to be me. Here we go. The 3 friends were wondering how on earth they had got into this position. Even though he was a tiger, Pan felt the fear in him, and the weight of the responsibility of this most unwelcome quest was too much for him to bear. He must remember the poem his grandfather had taught him in his dying breaths only 1 year previously, as the old tiger had warned him this day would come, when the world would become cold and dark, and an unlikely hero must stand tall to save them all. Bit of alliteration here. Good use of literary techniques. All right, so
They're poetic techniques of alliteration, really, aren't they? Don't feel literary. Maybe they are.
poetic techniques, sure.
I've picked my favourite. That isn't mine. Mine's my favourite, obviously.
Guys, this is a tough choice. I
I'm only
like
kidding.
I think these are all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like all of these ones. So I'm just still thinking about it.
Yeah. I thought maybe that it'd be a quick decision for me, but no, I'm really liking these.
Now remember, guys, if you are having trouble picking, the tiebreaker here should be the most ominous. You've got to pick the one that you think is
That's
the
not.
most.
It's not actually a tiebreaker. It's actually
No, sorry, not a
just what you're
tiebreaker.
doing.
Yeah, that's sort of it. Sorry, what I meant was the sort of the guiding
It's a full.
principle. Yeah, the parameter. I don't know. Is sort of the most ominous.
You just had to pick another P word.
Well, I've got mine set.
I'm just going to quickly double check something.
The tiebreaker is actually the shortest. So if there's a tie in votes, it's the shortest one that wins. Which I guess is to encourage
Breath.
succinctness. Yeah.
Oh, I've just realised something.
What's that? As he goes.
No, it's
"There,
okay.
what?"
No, it's okay. Ignore me. It doesn't matter.
I think I know the thing you noticed, but I'll say it after we voted.
Okay. Well, let us.
Hang on, I'm not ready.
Okay, everyone's still picking.
I think I'm good.
I think I was good too, but I just want to reread one of them. Just want to make sure, because you remind me, I want to make sure I am applying the rule of most ominous, in my opinion, as opposed to just So I felt the need to.
Well, I think if there's sort of 2 that you feel are sufficiently ominous, use.
Yeah, no, of course, but I had forgotten that. I remembered that while I was writing, but I forgot while I was reading, so I just wanted to be fair.
Mm-hmm. I think I've picked mine.
I think I've picked mine.
Great, I'm also ready to go. Just wait for Chris.
Sorry, I was the
that's
first to decide. Now I'm the last. I'm sorry.
No rush. Then I shall randomize an order here in my hands.
Yeah, I'm ready. My favorite one was the most ominous one, I think.
Cool.
Brilliant.
I firmly believe that. Ready?
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's Ollie.
That would be the folk of the midnight moon.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Michael.
The first one, dude. One night when the moon was at its most secretive.
Chris.
Folk of the Midnight Moon.
Number 1. And
No,
me.
no, that's
oh.
no, that's number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, sorry, number 2.
Um,
And I've got Bam. Number 2. No, sorry, number 1. The I got number 1 and 2 confused in my mind when I was looking at the Discord. I need to sort of shuffle this down. I need to shuffle the Discord down a bit so I can't see the previous entries. Let me just rephrase this. Okay, so we got. We do have a draw. Let me bring this up. So we've got 2 votes for number 1 and 2 votes for number 2. So, Ollie, yours must be number 3 then, right?
Yep.
I almost got confused when you named the ice servants Eins and Zwei, because I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
speaks German, sort of.
You know when we were talking about like when you name things, I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. Like you could be numbers. You're made of ice. You don't have personality.
Naming under pressure. You're named 1 and 2.
Yes.
Is it 1 and 2? It is,
Yeah,
right?
So I could have changed my vote obviously to when Ollie's got one, but I thought I'll be fair. And Ollie's Michael's rather.
Are we going to vote for mine, Chris?
Sorry,
You're going to vote for mine?
I voted for 2. Oh, it's Ollie. Is this? I can't remember who this is.
Number 2 is actually my one.
Oh, your one. Sorry. Of course it is. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why, dude. I was put off of that with apes and wildcats. I was like,
I didn't like the apes and wildcats, but I
Me
thought
neither.
so. I actually didn't. I thought it was the most ominous.
Yeah. I basically.
Actually, I thought mine was most ominous because it implies the death of the main character is going to occur.
yeah, that's why I picked.
I actually think mine is legitimately the most ominous subjectively. Sorry, objectively, because it implies the death of the central character. But I managed to. But however, I thought of how the story might go in Mike's one, and thought of a very ominous continuation, and therefore it must be the most ominous to me.
I mean, I liked Mike's up until the apes and the wildcats. I was like, anything but apes. I think apes just put me off.
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with apes?
Because
I
of the whole
don't know.
planet of, it's just an unpopular franchise now, apparently.
Because the picture, when I see the picture and the story unfolding, apes couldn't like in a freezing cold world. I don't know. Apes just didn't seem to sit there. Although
Well, that's why they're
that's
abusing the
nonsense.
magic.
You're a tiger.
They're abusing the magic to make it inhospitable for themselves.
I know, that's what I mean, Ollie. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, a tiger can be there, but not an ape. That's dumb.
To be fair, there are Arctic tigers. The Siberian tiger is basically just shouting at me at this point. It's like, I live in the snow. Don't forget about me.
So you win, Mike, because you are the most shortest one, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
We could do a word count, but it's pretty obvious visually yours is shorter.
That's true. So, if I remember correctly, that means Chris and Ollie, you both get a point, and I get 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Michael, your distaste for apes has cost you a point. All right, and I will read this again, and we can then see. And you know what? I didn't name any of the characters, so you all can pick your favorite names for part 2.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
good?
did you know that mine was?
You haven't really established anything apart from the fact that the cats have to do a quest.
Exactly. And I've set up a grand species war here, guys. Ominous. War's coming. Apes versus wildcats. They're going to abuse that mighty power. Here, let me read you again the setup for round 2. The folk of the Midnight Moon had learned quickly when it was safe to cast spells. Using their gifts, they had carved out a living in this harsh environment and forged a fragile peace amongst the species. The most fragile alliance was amongst the apes and wild cats. It was holding together until the blood moon appeared. Magic took on forms it had never done before, twisting into dark and powerful shapes. The apes sought to abuse this for their own ends and to keep the peace, the wildcats had to embark on a most unwelcome quest. I don't know why. I legitimately hated reading that.
Because it's your own work, I think.
You stumbled
Maybe.
over the exact same parts that I did.
Yeah,
I felt
like I can't believe I used fragile twice so close together, and then like there definitely needed to be a comma in there somewhere. I think your reading was better.
It needs an editor.
God damn it! I'm my own editor. Damn it!
Okay. So you have to pick the next superlative and phrase, right?
This is true, so I shall share them with the group. We've got here. So I've actually taken the storyteller token back here, but it's me. For those of you watching at home.
Put it on your picture.
Yeah.
So what we've got here is most suspenseful scene.
Ooh.
I like that. Cleverest trap.
It was upside down the whole time.
Best reversal of fortune. Jeez, this is a big ask for 5 minutes of writing.
Right? I'm stressed, man.
Look, short. Everyone loves a short book. I mean, I must say, I love the fact that shortest is the tiebreak, because if you got the point across more quickly, then it's better, right? Because only psychopaths think that books should be long for the sake of being long.
Does that mean Alexandre Dumas is a psychopath?
I've never read anything by Dumas.
Don't you dare. I love those books.
Well, yeah, but the Count of Monte Cristo is definitely really, really way too long.
I disagree.
It depends. It depends on if it could be shorter or not, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean the abridged version is really good. So
to be fair, most of the abridged versions just skip the whole prison section. It's just like,
Fair enough.
we've got like all great cowards.
See, that would have fed into mine.
Oh, we can make that.
Set a new standard for treachery.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't know, guys. Best reversal of fortune and set a new standard for treachery are kind of a good combo. We've also got a wellspring of joy and sorrow.
That's the cleverest trap.
Okay, what are you gonna pick?
I think it's got to be those two I just said. Set a new standard for treachery and best reversal of fortune.
Okay.
I can hear all of your cogs turning already, team. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is set
I've got my idea ready.
Yeah, I've got your all right.
This is stressful, man. So it's a what's the saying?
Set a new standard for treachery.
A set.
No, just
set.
sets.
Set a new standard for treachery.
You said assets, didn't you?
Set a new standard for treachery.
Right.
Yeah. Set a new standard for treachery. We'll say that somewhere.
Use that phrase.
Treachery. Spelled.
I mean,
correctly.
if you write, and this created a new standard for treachery, I'm not gonna like mark you down for that. You know, come on, we're having fun.
And then the actual theme is
a best reversal of fortune.
Best reversal of fortune. Best reversal of fortune.
Mm-hmm. Ready?
Sorry, I can't quite work out what that means. Does that mean the fortune's been reversed? I don't.
Yeah. So great reversal of fortune would be, for example,
a standard of treachery.
No, a great reversal of fortune. A great reversal of fortune would be you're when Jane Eyre gets the inheritance, right? Jane Eyre is down her luck, and a rich family member dies, and she gets Deus Ex Machina out of her state.
See, I was going to go for the Pirates of the Caribbean thing, where Jack Sparrow's tied to that giant tree thing, and he's trying to get free, can't, runs away, and then just starts falling. And the only reason he survives is because that's attached to his back, and he bounces off the rocks, and slowly it carves away. And then
that's also ironic.
Yes.
Or
that is a
actually,
great Chancellor
to
Fortune.
continue
I
the
thought-
Pirates
I
of the Caribbean theme, if you think about the inciting incident of the first movie, the pirates find the cursed gold, and it's
Yes.
like, hooray, we found all this gold, and then it turns out it's cursed, and now they can't taste or smell anything.
So the reversal of fortune. So it's something good, and it's that fortune.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's-
catastrophe or
It's
you
reversed.
catastrophe. Good,
Yeah.
good
so
turning to
it
bad
could-
or bad turning to good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be good turning to bad. It can be bad turning to good. Right. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
A reversal of fortune.
And the reason I used the Jane Eyre example was I thought that a literary example was more appropriate.
But Pirates of the Caribbean is not a book?
I understand. I understand that he's a visual character.
Okay, I think I can do this.
Or when the eagles appear at the Battle of the Black Gate. That's Tolkien coined the phrase eucatastrophe as the opposite of catastrophe as a description of ultimate evil turning to good.
Okay. Cool.
Okie dokie. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, start!
What was the phrase? This disappeared from the screen.
Set a new standard for treachery.
Thank you.
Time? How much time?
10 seconds. Time.
I was actually finished slightly early for once. Only 10 seconds early, but still.
No. Oh God.
Let me check for typos. Oh, yeah, I got a couple. Hang on.
This is like your this should be like your ship check in Galaxy Trucker, where if you got any of the pieces wrong, you have to pull it out. Like you know, if you got any words wrong, you have to delete them.
Because that's how Ollie went from having a completed ship to having, oh look, it's an engine.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, count us down there.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, submit! All right, cool. So we got a bunch of new stories here to read, and I'm going to get some voting tokens. Here we go. All right, so story number 1 begins The Howling Shrieks. And it's going to be read to us by Michael.
Okay. The howling shrieks of the apes carried across the icy cavern. Oh, sorry. The howling shrieks. I always feel like we need one of those clipboards from films. And go.
Take 3.
The howling shrieks of the apes carried across the icy chasm, chilling their blood and making the younger cats whimper as the cacophony grew louder and louder. Valen roared back at them defiantly, his blue eyes shimmering an odd shade as the blood moon hung overhead. Their ambush had been perfect, trapping them in the ravine as the apes hurled twisted magic down at them. All seemed lost, until a sudden cry rose up from the top of the cliff edge. Suddenly, apes began to fall onto the waiting claws of the pride. In what would set a new standard for treachery, a single ape had betrayed his fellows and crept behind a great many of them to break their carved spells, the wild magic surging and tossing them down to their former victims. Emboldened, the wildcats surged onwards. This chance to take revenge would not escape them.
Okay.
Cool. Time for number 2. It's going to be Ollie. This one begins The Strongest Warriors.
The strongest warriors from amongst the wildcats, owls and wolves were chosen to travel out into the blizzard. Their task was to discover the malicious machinations of the apes and put a stop to their plans. Travelling through the worst storm seen in living memory and infiltrating the 8 camp, they confronted the evil cabal of sorcerers. They seemed in the nick of time to stop the Blood Moon ritual and prevent the evil magics of running their course. But as the High Priest uttered the final words, the Owl Warrior set a new standard for treachery and threw the Wolf Warrior from the camp to her death. The ritual was complete. Ooh.
Ooh.
Number 3 is Chris.
Which am I reading? Because they're out of sync. So
The heroes were racing.
the heroes were racing down the mountain after the confrontation with the Ape King. He had set a new standard of treachery after promising never to cast the forbidden magic from the ancient text which had brought the kingdom to civil war, and evil spirits were now encompassing the land, destroying crops, turning friends against one another. It was hard to imagine a time when peace and goodness had ruled this land.
And I guess I shall read the last one. Cathus, the leader of the Wildcats, knew it would fall to him to complete this quest and restore order. He needed to defeat Simiel, the king of the apes. How this could be achieved with the apes abusing the world's magic as they were was beyond Cathus's mind. However, no magic he could cast could harm the apes with the blood moon high in the sky, in the night skies. When all seemed lost, however, with death from hunger knocking at the Wildcats' door, an ape appeared amongst them, unaccounted, and what he did next set a new standard for treachery. His name was Seath, he told them, and he was the most hated and mocked ape due to his small size. His life was not worth living, he had decided, not even with his kind ruling over all. Not when he was hated so by all that he loved. He gifted Cathus the secret to not only defeat Simiel, but to destroy the apes for good. All of them.
I do love that in 2 of them, the Ape King is present.
Yeah, me too.
He's gotta go! That ape king.
But everyone did remember that the apes were the bad guys.
Good work, team.
I remembered it.
I've got to admit, I'm stuck in a 3-way tie, guys. I like all of them.
I'm between 2, but I think I'm gonna go for this one, despite. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for this one. Yeah, I'm ready.
I like all of them. That aren't mine, I mean.
I like mine too.
Yeah, I like mine
They
too.
did a good job.
Are you all decided? Are you waiting on me?
I'm still having a little think about it, but
Okay, I've decided.
Yeah, I've decided.
yeah, okay, me too. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's get them votes out of there. I'm going to reveal first the tokens, and then the shout your votes at me. All right, so token number 1 is Chris.
Strongest warriors.
And Ollie.
Cathus, the leader of the Wildcats.
And Michael.
The Howling Shrieks of the Apes.
And I also went with Cathus in the end. Just this one.
Interesting.
So we've got
And once
2
again-
for number 4, 1 for number 2, and 1 for number 1. So who wrote number 4?
Which one is number 4?
Cathus.
Cathus.
Me.
Hey, well done, Chris.
That's fun.
Yay! 1 point.
And thank you for voting for mine. I appreciate
right.
that.
I thought yours was the only problem. I remember I said despite my despite here was I'm not entirely sure how that story is going to end because that one feels like it's got a lot more to tell. But the reason I went for it was I enjoyed the fact that it's almost a double reverse of fortune.
Was yours the strongest warriors from among the Wildcats, Mike?
Yeah.
I nearly picked that one.
I was debating that one quite heavily.
Well, I really liked yours as well, Ollie, but it felt a bit like, it just didn't feel like the tightest reversal of fortune. It felt sort of like...
Which one was that?
Ollie's was Valen's, I think, right?
Yeah, the Shrieking Apes.
Mm-hmm.
The howling shrieks of the apes. That one, yeah.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah, I also felt
you're in
I
an
felt the same.
ambush.
I felt the same way, Mike. I felt the reversal just didn't it just didn't have enough welly.
Yeah, fair enough.
To be fair, I nearly picked Cathus as well because I quite liked his defeat them all bit. I liked all of them.
Well, I thought that was a huge reverse of fortune because it went from all the cats dying to all the apes dying.
Yeah.
Michael, I'm not entirely sure what the reversal of fortune in your one was.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't go for it.
I just be honest. I struggled a lot with that. I didn't know really what to write, and then the time pressure. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to write.
pressure.
Well, you kind of it was there. The reverse fortune was there, but it was more alluding to it having already happened in the previous part of the story. So it was correct. It just wasn't as
it wasn't as direct. Present. It wasn't as present.
I think I have the idea. I just can't articulate it quickly. Which is a problem in this game when you have 5 minutes.
So we got Chris is now the storyteller for the final round, and also 2 points. 2 points for Chris for being the story man, and a point for me and a point for Ollie for guessing correctly the right one. I say guessing correctly. I mean for voting for the winner.
Yeah.
I mean they were all great. I thought all those submissions were really, really good.
I agree.
I really liked all of them actually. I really liked Chris's. I liked yours, Mike, as well. It was a coin toss. It really was.
I felt I'm really feeling the pressure on this one because you guys are all so good.
That's very kind, but we both know 2 are good.
Well, the thing is, the thing with yours, Michael, is I get the sense there's a sort of there's definitely good sensibility for story there. I think it's just sort of what I think
it's my lack of vocab.
It's not even the vocabulary necessary. I think it's sort of a dramatic delivery. You know, there's like a step from visualizing the story, communicating the story, and then sort of the dramatic delivery of, the story, which is the final sort of step, I suppose.
Yeah.
Of course, I think also this format favors those that can type the fastest. Like if we're playing this physically, I'd be screwed because my handwriting is so slow.
So this is the last round, isn't it?
This is the final round.
No pressure.
Come on, a point.
Okay.
Hey, if it helps, Michael, all of my points have been from voting.
What's the current point? 3, 3, 2, 0.
It's true. The only so far Ollie's chosen thing was the unscored round.
Yeah.
But do you know what's kind of funny as well? When I think back to all those 4 setups, I would have liked to see how they all played out as well. Right. So Chris, you are the storyteller going into round 3/4, the final round. So I shall give you now the 3 superlatives.
Please.
Just give this a quick shuffle. And here we go.
Oh, I think Skimble's about to visit. Yes, he is. Hello.
Hey, Skimble. Destroyer of live streams and webcams. So, superlative number 1 is best moral of the story. Number 2 is best hidden meaning.
Yeah.
And number 3 is greatest redemption of a villain. Oh, could the Ape King finally get his arc? And we've got 3 phrases as well. 1, 2, 3. Here we
Something
go.
related to a king. Something related to a king. Something related to a king.
So number 1 is with the noblest intent.
There we go.
Number 2 is thrown into an awful confusion. And number 3 is as only a scoundrel would.
Ooh.
Mm.
Mm.
I know you want. I'm guessing you want greatest redemption of a villain, but I think I'm actually gonna go with best moral of the story. And I'm gonna go with. Sorry, I'm doing a James Bond, a Blofeld thinky think.
Yes.
I think thrown into an awful confusion.
Thrown into an awful.
Why is Mike giving us funny looks there?
Me?
You're so cute, Skimby. Are you one of the Wildcats?
See the strongest Wildcat Warrior. Oh my god,
Oh,
he's
by the way,
destroying my audio again.
Cathis is also a play on the Latin for cat, and Simiel is also a Latin on the Latin for monkey. So if you spot Latin, it's probably mine.
I think Gimbal's on the microphone there, Chris.
Oh, sorry. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting scratches.
Sweetie, come on. No. No, don't knock the camera. Come on.
Every stream. Do you know what I remember,
Every
Chris, when he never showed up at the beginning, and you were like, "I wonder if Skimble will come say hi." And now it's been literally every video. He showed up one time, he's been back every time.
Unless he sleeps through the whole stream, he will appear because he thinks he associates me sitting here with jumping up and having a cuddle, basically, and now he's totally knocked my camera over.
But I just saw
Hi, Skim.
There was like a words was typing, and I was wondering if that was Skimble.
Actually, it may have been.
All right. All right, guys. So remember, your superlative for this round is best moral of the story, and your phrase is thrown into an awful confusion. And do you know what we didn't have? We didn't have the winner reading their paragraph, I don't think. So, Chris, before we start this, can you just read us your winning paragraph from the round?
Oh, sure. Cathis, the leader of the Wildcats, knew it would fall to him to complete this quest and restore order. He needed to defeat Simiel, the king of the apes. How this could be achieved with the apes abusing the world's magic as they were was beyond Cathis's mind, however. No magic he could cast could harm the apes with the blood moon high in the night skies. When all seemed lost, however, with death from hunger knocking at the Wildcat's door, an ape appeared amongst them, and what he did next set a new standard for treachery. His name was Seath, he told them, and he was the most hated and mocked ape due to his small size. His life was not worth living, he had decided, not even with his kind ruling over all. Not only was hated so by all that he loved. He gifted Cathis the secret not only to defeat Simiel, but to destroy the apes for good. All of them.
Got an ominous feeling.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready, here we go. 3, 2, 1, start!
What's the phrase again?
Thrown into an awful confusion. time.
Cool. I've got lots of spelling errors here. Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted a much more fleshed out ending, but I had to rush there.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Ah, now I've got caps lock on as I try to. There we go. All right, I've corrected my spelling.
I'm just going to change a pronoun into a noun because I don't think it's because I'm just rereading the sentence. It's not clear what it's referring to.
I think that's allowed.
So yeah, it's not changing the meaning of anything. It's just making the meaning clear.
Good. Is everyone ready?
Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Submit. Oh, wow, we got some novels here. So reading number 1, which is Simeon led Cathus, is going to be. I think that's Ollie. It is. It's Ollie.
Cool.
Very good.
All
Right.
right.
Seath led Cathus and his entourage to a hidden part of the darkest wood, known only to the apes. They went by a secret route that Seath had learnt in his days, wandering lonely away from the tribe. There they set their eyes upon the strangely wondrous sight of the blood crystal. Seath informed them that this crystal was what caused the blood moon that allowed his kind to reign supreme above all. That its destruction would end the apes for good. Cathus grabbed the crystal from its pedestal with his paws and lifted it above his head. Just then, Simiel appeared before them. He pleaded with Cathus not to destroy the crystal. All things end, he told them. There is always balance in the end, he assured. Trust me, this is not the way, he pleaded. Cathus, with hate in his eyes, smashed the crystal to the ground, and with the ear-splitting sound, all gathered were thrown into an awful state of confusion. Life started to sap away from the land. Ape and Wildcat together both felt their end set upon them. With his last thought, Cathus realized what Simiel had meant. The crystal sustained all life, not just the apes. Cathus's rage had blinded him. When you seek revenge, dig 2 graves.
Cool.
Ooh.
Wow. That was
Good.
dark.
Good dramatic reading.
Nice.
I try.
All right. Time for reading The Weight of the Secret Magics. And it's Chris.
The weight of the secret magics weighed upon Cathus's mind. He had no choice. He was almost certain of that. But to condemn an entire species to death? That seemed unconscionable. And what kind of precedent would it set for the future of magic? As the wind rose and the shadows grew darker, he fervently sought an alternative. None was forthcoming. The blood moon, the apes grew ever stronger, and all the land was thrown into an awful confusion. Cathus decided he must use Seath's secret plan, and at the 0 hour he condemned the apes to damnation, all of them. Peace was restored and the species resumed their fragile alliances, but an uneasiness rested over the land, as none could forget the apes and the brutality of their extinction.
Very
Definitely
nicely done.
took a dark turn.
Yeah.
I think all
Wow.
of these are pretty dark.
Here we go. Number 3. Number 3, which begins Cathus and his friends. Will be read by Michael.
Cathus and his friends marched to the top of the mountain to spy on Simiel's lair. Taking with him the scroll of parchment which held the magic words the Wildcat leader would need to take down the Ape King. Once he was high above the chasm, he let out a mighty roar and started chanting. Simiel looked on, and started laughing at the lone cat trying to take him down. But as a pain started to rise from within, he was thrown into an awful confusion. How could this be, he thought. No, it cannot be. The traitor! I will make him pay for this. And with that dying thought, he collapsed. The army were lost in confusion, and make way to attack Cathus and his tribe. Fleeing down the mountain with Seath's words in his mind, Cathus thought to himself, this would never have happened without the need for power and crushing anyone in their way, including your own kind. The world should always live in harmony with each other.
There we go. I feel like even though there's a sort of a different grim paths here, kind of the morals, the sort of the same in the end, right?
Yeah.
Let's all be nice.
Let's be friends.
Let's be friends. Are we all set for the final paragraph?
Yes, read by who will it be?
Me. It's got to be me. Here we go. And I think I've got the longest one. The Ape King Simiel roared defiantly as the last echoes of the Blood Moon's magic were driven from his body. Bent double, he could still see the smoking remains that had once been his most trusted guards, each one of them infused with the twisting magics they had claimed for themselves. The scene was unthinkable. How could this have happened? How could a single, low ape tear victory from his grasp? How could all be thrown into an awful confusion by a rejected and lowly thing as this? As the last of his power faded, the little ape approached him, flanked by the wildcats who had helped him penetrate to his icy throne. Flanked by the wildcats who had helped him penetrate to his icy throne. As the last of the Blood Moon's madness drained out of him, Simiel realized just how big a fool he had been to discount the ape for his small stature and weak form. It had been his pride that had defeated him. His inability to see past the surface of this ape's power had blinded him. In truth, he had defeated himself by his own bigotry. Seath looked down at his former king, now broken and afraid. Never again would the dwellers in the Snowlands be so quick to judge or reject those that appeared weak or useless. His legend would stand as an example of what endless determination and belief in oneself can bring into this world. Huh.
Okay.
There you go. So
we're judging based on what was it?
The best moral of the story.
Best moral of the story. Okay. Okay.
And has
everyone ready to vote?
Yeah,
I think I've picked. Yeah, I've picked.
I've picked. Michael?
A toss-up between two. Has everyone picked? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good.
You can take a second.
Yeah, take all the time you need.
Within reason.
Yeah, we don't want to be here tomorrow.
I picked.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Here we go. And the first one to vote is Michael.
The Ape King Simiel roared defiantly.
Cool. And then it's Chris.
Same one. Ape King Simiel.
Ollie.
I've got Seath led Cathus and his entourage.
And I also picked the last one, the Ape King Simiel. I think we've got a clear winner, which might well be Ollie's.
Must be.
Yay!
Wow.
I was the only one who couldn't vote for it.
I
Glad you guys liked it.
It was good. Yeah, I liked it.
So Ollie, you wrote the one about the one that ends, his legend would stand as an example?
Yep.
Yeah, I figured as much,
Yeah,
because you were the only one who didn't vote for it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a clue.
Grand.
I really liked
I'm
the one.
so happy to be outvoted.
I really liked the one where you seek revenge, dig two graves. That was my toss-up.
Yeah, that was the one I went for.
I thought I was going to take it, I must say.
That was
Was that
yours,
yours,
Chris.
Chris?
That was mine, yeah.
Oh, Chris, I nearly picked yours as well.
Ollie's was excellent as well.
I tried to give it all the dramatic flavour I could.
Oh, it was such a toss-up, literally between those two.
What I actually especially liked about yours, weirdly enough, is Ollie, was actually not just the content, but the fact that you because the hardest thing to me was actually, well, in this short paragraph, I have to actually decide how, like, what the betrayal, how they beat the apes, and you just bypassed that. You just said right, the betrayal, the information worked and then you spent all your time on the aftermath essentially, which was clever.
Thanks. I basically went when I saw it, I was like, I have no idea how they're going to do this, so I'm just going to be like, it happened.
Exactly. Whereas I had to go with the cliche crystal because I decided to try and explain it.
Yeah, I like the crystal.
It was fine, right? We did the job, but it was cliched.
Yeah.
Well, it's very Final Fantasy.
Yeah, there you go.
There's always a crystal. But no, I really liked yours. I really liked the where is it? The where is it gone?
It's at the bottom now.
March to the top of Samuel's lair. I like the idea that it was a magic scroll they were using, and Samuel just looking, laughing.
That's Michael's, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I like that. I thought it was nice.
I was pleasantly surprised by how good we all were at this. Maybe we're all terrible. I don't know. I thought we were all good.
I thought we were all really good.
well.
Yeah.
And we all took it seriously. No one did any daft rubbish.
I have to admit, I really like how when we first looked at this and we did the preview bit, I thought, how the hell are we going to get a coherent story from this?
Yeah.
But we did. Like we all basically went, right, whatever it says, dive straight in with it, and it worked.
And people used each other's ideas and bounced and sprungboard from them. They didn't reject their ideas. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the story actually sounds like when it's all read out. Maybe it will sound rubbish, but I think it'll sound all right.
I've just realised, I think we've got a 3-way tie for victory.
I think we do, yeah.
Oh, do we? I hadn't even.
Because I get 2 points.
Because he gets 2, and we all get 1. So it's gonna be 4-4-4-1.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so Ollie gets. I stopped thinking about the points. I was like, this.
Ollie gets 2.
I know. I was a little bummed out that nobody said they liked my final paragraph.
Which was yours?
The one that nobody mentioned.
No, seriously, which one was it? I can't remember.
Magic.
Dude, can I just say that's my entire playthrough?
The Wage of Secret Magic. Is that yours, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
no
so.
one mentioned any of mine throughout the
That's not
entire...
true. Ollie mentioned yours a moment ago. Yeah, Ollie mentioned Michael's.
I really liked yours. The only thing was, I got genuine chills reading Chris's one.
I know, it was really powerful. I thought I didn't pick Chris's because it was too dark.
It was meant to be, but the moral was
That's why I liked
Seek
it.
Revenge, dig 2 graves. That was
Why
what
I
I
liked
on.
it.
I mean, I think our moral was probably not far apart, but I think
Yours was just the reason I didn't vote for yours, Mike, was yours can be summed up in he used the plan, it worked.
yeah, but it didn't. But I was trying to bring across the idea that it didn't really work because by wiping out the entire species, they couldn't really live with it. But I think I didn't use strong enough vernacular.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I mean, for me, the moral of your one is genocide is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. which is
Considering how important that message is, you kind of undersold it.
Yeah, I definitely could have delivered that more effectively.
I had to laugh. Did you do mine? Was mine straight away, Mike? When you were like, Cathis and his friends.
Well, no. To be fair, Michael, I didn't actually know that was yours at the time. I just thought it was so funny in stark contrast to like mine, which ends with, none could forget the apes and the brutality of their extinction. Cathis and his friends. It just looked really funny in the Discord, Right. What I wanted to do real quick was check the rulebook for end tie. I think that Ollie wins.
Ollie would win then because Ollie won the setup.
Yeah, Ollie wins because the winner of the quest, if they're in the tie, wins.
Well played, Ollie.
Well done, Ollie.
Actually, it says in the event of a tie, the author of the winning quest wins the game. So it's not even that Ollie's in the tie. If Ollie had scored no points, but Chris and I had tied, Ollie would still win.
That possibly needs to be rewritten.
Nah, it's because even though Chris, you and I would have created all these incredible stories, we wouldn't have done it without Ollie's inciting incident or setting, whatever.
Snow magic.
Snow
It's
magic.
good that so good you all won a chapter as well. That's kind of cool.
Brilliant. Well then. It's all you, buddy. Everyone else, shut up.
Under the midnight moon, in the furthest north, the magic of the land takes form from the snow and ice of the earth itself. Creations of ice and snow can be formed and brought to life by placing the darkest of stones at their heart. Spells written into the snow will allow the dwellers to conjure wondrous things, but magic can run amok when the winds howl and snow is driven forward. In those dark times when the moon is hidden, strange and frightful creatures will come to life, and spells will twist as the words and symbols become corrupt by changing winds. The animals of the wild know well to hide in these times, and cast only on windless nights, when the benevolent moon can guide their hands and ensure the accuracy of their casting. The folk of the midnight moon had learned quickly when it was safe to cast spells. Using their gifts, they had carved out a living in this harsh environment and forged a fragile peace amongst the species. The most fragile alliance was amongst the apes and wildcats. It was holding together until the blood moon appeared. Magic took on forms they had never done before, twisting into dark and powerful shapes. The apes sought to abuse this for their own ends, and to keep the peace, the wildcats had to embark on a most unwelcome quest. Cathus, the leader of the wildcats, knew it would fall to him to complete this quest and restore order. He needed to defeat Simiel, the king of the apes. How this could be achieved with the apes abusing the world's magic as they were was beyond Cathus's mind, however. No magic he could cast could harm the apes with the blood moon high in the skies. When all seemed lost, however, with the death from hunger knocking at the wildcats' doors, an ape appeared in amongst them, and what he did next set a new standard for treachery. His name was Seath, he told them, and he was the most hated and mocked ape, due to his small size. His life was not worth living, he had decided, not even with his kind ruling over all. Not when he was so hated by all that he loved. He gifted Cathus the secret to not only defeat Simiel, but to destroy the apes for good. All of them. The Ape King Simiel roared defiantly as the last echoes of the Blood Moon's magic were driven from his body. Bent double, he could still see the smoking remains that had once been his most trusted guards, each one of them infused with the twisted magics they had claimed for themselves. The scene was unthinkable. How could this have happened? How could a single, low ape tear victory from his grasp? How could all be thrown into an awful confusion by a rejected and lowly thing as this? As the last of his power faded, the little ape approached him, flanked by the wildcats who had helped him penetrate to his icy throne room. As the last of the Blood Moon's madness drained out of him, Simiel realized just how big a fool he had been to discount the ape for his small stature and weak form. It had been his pride that had defeated him. His inability to see past the surface of this ape's power had blinded him. In truth, he had defeated himself by his own bigotry. Seath looked down at his former king, now broken and afraid. Never again would the dwellers in the Snowlands be so quick to judge, or reject, those that appeared weak or useless. His legend would stand as an example of what endless determination and belief in oneself could bring into this world.
Yay!
Very, very, very
We
well
did
read,
it.
I must say.
Thank you.
That's a good story, isn't it?
That's a decent story. I think that's actually very nice.
So when are we publishing
Very
it?
good moral.
Exactly right. Good moral,
Well
good
done,
story.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun.
That was really good. Better than I thought it was going to be.
I'm really impressed by how coherent a story we got from this.
Me too. Guys, we should all write together.
Maybe if
Michael, you are important in this process. Do not.
Someone needs to write the chapter about the main character and his friends. Yeah. I think if it was the three of us, it'd probably all get very dark far too quickly, and we'd need Michael there to be like, "Hang on, time for the beach episode."
The snow beach. One day a year is sunny, and everyone forgives everyone.
well, y'all listen to Tropical House.
I love dark stories, though.
Yeah, I was really impressed how this game came together, actually, and how we all we were sort of inspired under pressure to write good stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's probably one of the most difficult things for me to do as a skill. And even I enjoyed that. So, yeah, it was good fun. I think it's good having the banter off one another, just working out what you're going to pick and what sounds well.
I have to admit, for a game that's not actually cooperative, we were being very cooperative, and it didn't feel like it was me against you guys.
Well, you're not going to do well if you kind of refuse to roll with the stuff that's the last winning.
Well, it's not going to get picked, is it? Right? It doesn't flow.
Yeah. What's the point? Exactly. What's the point of like if you were to try and be like just trying to cast the characters aside that were previously established and make up your own characters, it's going to sound crap.
Yeah, you've got to yes and. It's the basic principle of the thing, isn't it?
It's like improv, right?
Oh, cool. So I think, well, we all had a good time with this one, and I was suitably impressed because I think making this kind of game is actually really, really difficult, and I think you'll get it's hard because you don't want to apply too much, because then it kind of stifles creativity, but you need to apply enough to foster it, and you want to have some, take it from someone who's played quite a lot of Once Upon a Time. Which is the improv storytelling game, which I think is a fun game, but kind of the actual mechanism of a game doesn't really exist in it.
It's worse than that. It does exist and it doesn't work properly.
Yeah, it does exist and it's not good. This felt a bit like that, but better. I have Once Upon a Time and I quite like it, but as a sort of a collective experience, this felt much more sort of thought out, and it created a much better result.
Yeah, and although I don't care in the slightest about the winning aspect of the game, the competition aspect of it, even that works better than Once Upon a Time. Like Ollie won because he had the most of his ideas picked by the group. Yeah. That makes sense. It makes sense that he won, as opposed to Once Upon a Time, where frankly it doesn't.
But I think even in the end, I didn't feel particularly competitive about this game in the traditional sense. I think in many ways the competitive mechanism actually sort of functioned to help us assemble the greatest story in the end, because I felt like at the end when Ollie was reading that back, all of the parts came together and it was really cool.
Yeah. I think so too.
And it had a bit of all of us in it.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I like that.
Yeah. I suppose it's one of the things of, because it's only 3 rounds and the quest, the more people you play with, the harder it is going to be for there to be like one person getting more than one section of the story. But you'll also get a lot of really divergent ideas. And that's a good thing. Even when your idea isn't picked, and I think it's a really good thing that they make it explicit, don't vote for your own.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I mean. In the end, we wouldn't have had what we had if it wasn't for Michael making decisions about what he liked.
Yeah. So even though his sections didn't get picked, he was going I think this is the best one, and it led to a fantastic story,
which we will now publish.
Indeed.
Yeah, if you'd like to support our storytelling endeavors. I don't know. I don't have a thing for that.
Yeah, I really like this. I think this is much better than Once Upon a Time. I think it massively succeeds where that one doesn't, in my opinion. Yeah. I like Once Upon a Time. I have it in my collection, but I haven't played it in years.
I get it out when I only ever use it by myself when I'm writing. I don't ever use it as a game for people. But this actually feels what
it was to pick though. Even though we were laughing, this is the card that we had out already. How many cards for the intro are there? You're going to have so much replayability on this, and you're never going to get the same story twice.
Well, there's 5-6 cards here, and I'm even thinking I would love to go back to our initial settings and just try out some of the other settings that were submitted for this.
Yeah, just follow different paths down there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's always going to be unexpected because you're never sure which one's going to get chosen. And it's, we played a 4-player game. It's for 3 to 12, so you can fit a lot of people too. I think with 12 people it might be very long. You might have to say I don't know, maximum 3 sentences per round or something.
Oh God. Yeah, I'd struggle with that. Brevity is something I have a passing relationship with.
Yeah.
So why are you suggesting you'd have to do that?
Well, I'm just saying, I think you'd struggle to get the 12-player game in less than 45
Oh,
minutes.
12 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It does go up to 12, theoretically. But if you guys like the look of this and you want to get involved, it's on Kickstarter, live on Kickstarter right now, and you can check it out and see if this is something that you'd like for your group. I know lots of different groups would bring different things to it, and I'm sure that even though we wrote a rather dramatic story about a magical tribe in the wilderness, which ended in a war, and a nice moral about don't snap judgment. But you could also, I think, write a humorous story or any other kind of story too, and
Absolutely.
have a really good time with it. So there you go. That's Tall Tales, and thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Ready Steady Play. And if you've liked the show, please do subscribe to the channel and leave a comment or a like down below. And if you want to support the show further, please do check out the Patreon initiative as well. And thanks so much for joining me, all of you wonderful folks, Ollie, Chris, and Michael. Thank you so much for joining me this evening and for your contributions and doing all that. I'm glad you had a good time.
Thanks for having us. It was great fun.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, congratulations, Ollie, for winning the game.
Thank you,
Well
guys.
done, Ollie.
Thanks for the great story.
Well done, Ollie.
And if you'd like to read all the stuff that was featured in this episode, you can check it all out in the description down below. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon, guys.
I'm like, where's my camera? Oh god, this is terrible.